All the way,
I spent the entire movie going, May's pretty hot. And then like 80% through the movie, I was like, I wonder what she looks like today. And I Googled it. I was like, oh my God, that's Madonna. I had no idea.
She's also like...
Also not hot today.
Well, no, and she's... Baseball! Finally, a baseball movie.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the game.
All right,
That's
shut
enough
up.
of that.
A League of Their Own. Not the show.
Not
The movie.
Yeah.
Based on maybe a book. Who cares? Tom Hanks.
the
Everybody?
actual women's baseball league
Yeah, but there's always
Based on
books.
history?
based on a true
There's
story.
always books.
Yeah.
1992. Thomas Hanks. He's real grumpy and drunk in the movie. It's super cool. But
Indeed.
before we get into this movie, I had to swallow. I have extracurriculars to talk about.
Gross.
I have two of them.
Uh-oh.
One of them I want to talk about this phenomenon. So last night we were in bed talking to one another
Ew.
as disgustingly happy couples do in bed. Ugh, nasty.
Gross. Sounds awful.
It's the worst. So I brought up for
Getting
some
divorced.
reason, you know how like when you look at anything, I talked about this before, and I heard it on some podcast that who cares. So it's like when you look at any object or surface, like your brain knows what it would be like to lick that thing. And we were talking about that. Like if you look at asphalt,
This is a known phenomenon?
yeah, it's like a thing.
Huh.
Look around
You're
your
right.
room
If you
right
look
now.
around your room, you look at any surface, you know in your heart of hearts what it would be like
Heart of hearts.
to lick that thing. Not taste, although maybe, but like tactily lick it.
That's
you know?
not just
And,
bound
like-
to the tongue, though. You could just like any. You could.
Yeah,
just,
but
like, any
I
feeling.
feel like the fact that you do it with your
We're
tongue is
specifically
special.
talking about the tongue in this instance.
Yeah. It's
So
like
the phenomenon is bound to the tongue.
yeah, like but like
Okay.
licking.
I would
never heard of this.
I would know the temperature too,
probably.
Wow, you're intuitive.
just
Yeah,
by
yeah.
looking at it.
So like
this
you know,
pole
we're
on the
talking
wall,
about
it's cold.
licking things for information, not pleasure here. And for some reason,
YouTube,
we were
calm
talking
down.
about just things around us that we would lick. And for some reason, towels. She brought up towels.
You brought up
I brought up
towels.
towels.
You brought up towels.
I was like, you know, the bed sheets,
You
or
were
like
like-
if you were to lick a towel, like the kitchen,
kitchen
towel,
towel.
you know exactly what it would feel like to lick both the really
one's
fuzzy
bad.
side and the smooth side. You know, like you know what that would be like. And Danielle, I don't remember the context, but this is a direct quote. She said, "Quote: You've had towels in your mouth recently, right?" So she said, and I said, "Excuse me," because
You got some
in-
splaining to do.
in my mouth, like I'm going, oh, like, and then shoving, not licking, but like, you've had towels in your mouth recently, right? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, right. Come on.
And I still don't know what she
We've
meant by
all
that.
done that. We've all
And
done
she
it.
kept like elaborating, like, yeah, like licking them. I'm like, that's not what you said. You
we
said-
were talking about the
But why would-
context. Why would I need to clarify? We were already talking about the context.
yeah, but licking and shoving something in your mouth are not the same thing.
Here's what I was thinking.
Please enlighten me.
You wipe your mouth off with towels, so that's really
It's
close.
not- I don't wipe.
That's
like,
really close to your tongue and your mouth, so it's the same. You know, it's close.
Yeah, you might as well just
No.
go for
So
it.
a towel's closer to your mouth more often than like a wall.
You know when you wipe your mouth and then you like get the
She's got a
inside
point,
of
though.
your. You get
or
the-
like
There's
the
a lot more,
road. You're more
yeah.
like your
A lot more
towels,
intrinsic proximity.
Yeah, are more closer to you than a tree.
I often, when I am done eating, I like to pat my like lips and then the inside of my cheeks and my
You gotta
palate.
dry it out.
and
Sometimes
I'm
it's-
just like, ah,
too
like
wet.
yeah,
No.
with the towel. That's what I do.
I don't know. Maybe there's probably people that wipe their tongue.
Anyway, you know. Anyway,
Dude,
that's
the thought of a towel on my tongue is awful.
yeah, but you know what it would
Yeah.
be like. That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you had an extracurricular?
Bro, I don't want to. I
mean,
I don't want to have to tell you this,
Oh,
but
no.
oh my god!
I come with some
What did
really
you-
bad
what
news
did
that
you buy?
I learned earlier. I didn't buy anything.
Okay, that's good.
I was scrolling through Facebook, and I went, "Oh, Loco, my favorite place to go for lunch."
Oh, is it closing?
Cameron's favorite place to go for lunch.
Ish.
Oh, no.
It's
And the
closing.
Post.
Isn't it?
The post was that they were switching to a catering-only company, and they are officially closed.
Rippy dippy.
And that is,
Oh.
it's awful.
That's pretty sad.
That spot,
Wow.
that spot is so cursed.
Yeah, nothing lives there.
Nothing needs to go in after them. Bulldoze it.
Bulldoze it. Or
What was there before?
Burger 21. But then there was
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so that's the
No,
Burger
no.
21 building. But it was what was first? What was it built for? I don't even remember.
I have
So it was-
no idea.
Carmichael's first.
Was that the when it was yellow?
No.
That was like a schnitzel place.
It was a chicken place.
Chicken place.
Not different.
Open house.
Open house. HAUS.
Carmichael's open house. Carmichael's
Again.
Burger 21.
No. Open house. Carmichael's Burger 21. No. Carmichael's Burger 21. Open house. Loco.
Open house. Carmichael's.
Open house.
Came back.
Carmichael's came back.
Really?
And then it died again.
Yeah, for like 6 months.
Not very long.
And it was awful.
Well, Loco sure existed. It wasn't like the best. It's a chain.
But
it was a
where were
chain.
we-
Yeah.
But it was close to work. It was close to our house. It had like 6 out of 10 boneless wings.
And it was never busy.
6.5
You
out
know
of
what
10
my favorite
burgers.
part was?
That's probably the
Never
problem.
busy.
It was never
You
busy.
pinpointed the struggle right there.
My favorite part about Loco was the cheese sticks
They were good, but they were never the
and
same.
ordering. Right. It was always a guess. Would they come out square? Would they come out triangle? Would they come out like regular sticks or planks? Planks were the best.
You gave me one of my most
It was-
harrowing eating experiences at Loco when you informed me of what you call a sweet pickle, which is what I call a damn
You guys have
abomination.
never. I cannot believe you guys have never done that.
No.
It's when you take up your
Why would we do
is it
that?
a spear?
A dill.
They're called spears,
It's
right?
important that it's a dill pickle spear is where you're starting. It's a dill pickle spear.
Well, I don't know why you're putting emphasis on dill.
It's not
Because
like a bread
it's not
and
a
butter.
sweet pickle or a bread and butter pickle. We're starting with a dill pickle.
But that's why you have to make it sweet.
No.
You take the pickle, you take your fork, and you make little like cuts in it.
Yeah, but
and then you
that's
take some sweetener,
bread and butter
and you
pickles are
sprinkle it.
disgusting.
you sprinkle it over the pickle, let it soak, let it marinate, and then you eat it, and it's so good.
Is that the worst thing you've ever heard, Carl?
I've done some fucked up food
Sweet.
concoctions, but that's
That's the worst
crazy.
thing. The thing is that the first time he did it, he just started doing it.
you just put sugar on a pickle.
No.
Yeah.
And
it's
sweetener.
great.
He puts like the pink,
Like Sweet and Low?
Splenda. Yeah,
Oh.
Sweet and Low. Not
Well,
even.
I mean, I'm
No.
pretty. That was just because they didn't have a sugar packet.
All right.
Sugar
Either
packet is
way.
the way to
Beaker
go.
short of a science experiment, man. That's crazy.
Dude, I grew up eating those just like that.
Who taught
Everywhere
you
we
that?
went.
Yeah.
People from West Virginia,
My
man.
parents? I don't know.
Oh
Get
boy.
new parents.
That's a weird. Oh,
Sorry,
man.
Sheila.
That's a weird one. Yeah.
That was really disturbing.
All I'm saying is try it.
No.
Don't. All we're saying is don't.
we
Don't
can't
do that.
advocate that.
Yeah. I got one more really quick before we get into the movie.
Sugar.
Last night we had pesto for dinner, and I hate leftovers. I don't eat leftovers. It is very rare when I want leftovers.
This
and
man-
I reserve my love or my desire for leftovers for the food I love the most, like chili, like
Hamburger
a
Helper.
cheeseburger, hamburger helper.
A cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Hamburger
if I-
helper is better the next day.
Yeah.
Something about sitting there.
Pizza on the skillet reheated is amazing. And not a lot, but some pasta
pizza
dishes,
even.
pesto being one. Pesto for me is the king of pasta dishes. I know that's insane. But I don't like tomatoes, so tomato sauce is not my favorite. I'll eat it.
I was thinking pesto the dip.
No, like pesto
Yeah,
pasta.
same.
Pesto pasta, like basil
Oh.
and shit. We had pesto last night, and I woke up this morning, and my first thought was, I can't wait to have pesto for lunch. I'm going to actually eat lunch today. And she took it to work. And she does that every time. Not maliciously.
man.
Not maliciously.
It's not malicious.
But she does that like by chance every time it's a leftover that I want, and every
By
time I
chance.
literally wake up and I can't wait to have that chili today, and it's gone.
But there have been times where I haven't eaten the chili because I'm like, he's gonna want to eat the chili, and then he doesn't, and then it goes bad. So what am I to do? What's the answer?
Just know what
Never
I want
take
before I
leftovers to
want
work.
it.
Duh.
Yeah.
I have to.
No, please do, because the fridge is full of shit.
At least you knew what it was going to taste like with your tongue. So
That's true. I knew it. I knew it.
All
would
you have to do is
feel
think
like,
about it.
yeah,
knew it
despite
would
not having it.
feel like to eat the pesto.
It's like, all right, lunchtime.
But it was so
Imagine
good.
pesto.
Just thinking.
I made that pesto from scratch with my hands.
Yeah, and
What
I
is
made
pesto? It's basil
I
leaves.
guess
and
she kind of
oil?
deserved it then.
It's basil. Yeah, it's olive oil, basil, pine nuts, Parmesan cheese, garlic, and lemon juice.
and then you like put it in the food processor.
Salt and pep,
Yeah.
of
Okay,
course.
so you got to
Same
get a
thing.
food processor.
Yeah, you do need a food process. I mean, you could probably like mortar and pestle it,
Yeah,
but that'd be
you
a lot of
could.
work.
You'd really be earning your basil there. I
Yeah,
don't know.
right.
it'd be easier to
Mortar
just get a food processor.
and pesto.
Oh,
Was that something?
Pesto. That could be
mortar
our
and pesto.
pop-up pesto place.
Mortar and pesto,
Yeah.
Make a logo,
where
Carl.
we serve.
We
two
hand grind the
things.
pesto.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
serve
Grind the
salsa
pesto.
and
That's why Chris
pesto.
Pratt didn't do it for Mario. That's tough.
All right. Well, now that we spent 20 minutes talking about nothing, let's talk about a
Oh
movie.
yeah, did we watch a movie?
We're kind of loosely a
We
movie
did
show.
watch a movie.
League of Their Own.
Less and less each week.
Yeah, it's IMDb says 2 hours and 8 minutes. It's really an hour 45. Right?
No.
Was it 2 hours and it had
was
an
2
hour
hours.
45 left when I looked
2
at
hours
the timeline?
and two
Yeah.
hours and 6 minutes or 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Never
I
mind.
remember because I started it at 11 p.m. on the dot,
Why do you do that?
Wow.
Why?
and then
Why
it
do you
was
do that?
very late.
We reminded everybody
know, man.
yesterday
I
morning.
did.
Morning.
I know.
Thank
No,
God you did. 'Cause
Sunday
I would've
night.
I
Not seen
have
it.
Saturday
so
night?
many things.
No,
Sunday night.
It was Sunday morning.
Sunday.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
We were like, hey,
Afternoon.
watch the movie.
I'm a
'Cause I had
busy man.
plans. Yeah. I was like, no, I got something to do.
I had to play Call of Duty and then stop and watch a movie and then play more Call of Duty. I also had plans. Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, nom,
So
nom,
it's
nom, nom.
it's the war, my favorite.
It's the war, the 1940s.
The war.
I love
You
the
will.
war because I'm a grandpa. And it's the war and there's no baseball
There's
because
no men.
everyone's out there fighting Hitler
The men got to go fight for the country.
and Japan.
yes,
So there's
Both.
no baseball and they're like, we need baseball
because we need to make money.
for morale and money, but probably mostly morale.
I mean, in the movie, it was like, we got to find a way to make money in these hard times.
And it
Sad.
did stop because they weren't making money. So
So like, we start in a softball game and then we make a baseball team, I guess.
That's how that works.
Yeah. And it's that one guy.
Well, I think it was always baseball. I don't know if softball existed yet.
yeah, I was going to ask because
They
they
were-
didn't call it women's softball.
They were
But when did
playing
softball come around? If they had started with baseball, why not just
So,
keep it baseball?
All I know is they were slow pitch softball
Fun.
pitching in the beginning of the game.
Alright.
In the beginning of the game.
Yeah, fun fact. It started as like a hybrid because it was loosely based on real life. The league started as like a weird hybrid of softball and baseball. Like they brought in people and they made up weird rules and like specific rules
Huh.
just to the league.
Yeah.
But then
So
I think by the end of it, or by the end of the entire league, like after 12 years or so, it was just
baseball.
baseball.
Yeah, because they were
they
doing
didn't
the
get too into the rules.
underhand like wind uppy pitch instead
Okay.
of overhand baseball.
I don't know
pitch.
much about softball. I was not a softball girl.
Well, the field's smaller and the ball's bigger, and they pitch underhand, and it's with a
Okay.
windmill thing, and then you
Yeah.
tear your rotator cuff to shreds.
Oh, that's cute.
Ooh.
Gotta tear your rotator cuff.
It's either that or
Am
your-
I right?
It's either that or your UCL in baseball.
Mm,
Shout out to Tommy John. So we got. There's a lot of main characters in this movie,
there is.
but
Mhm.
there's 3 main characters in this movie, right?
Yeah.
It's the 2 sisters,
Yeah.
Dottie and
Kit.
Kit. Want to say Cat every time.
Yeah.
And then Tom Hanks's character, which is called Tom Hanks.
I would even loop
Dugan?
Jimmy, right?
Jimmy
yeah,
Dugan.
Jimmy Dugan. But also
Ah, we were both right, Carl.
Rosie
Nice.
O'Donnell's character and Madonna's character were both kind of
They're like
upper.
main in lowercase
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Like,
Can I
they're
tell
not-
you guys?
Yeah.
I spent that entire movie going, this chick, what was Madonna's character's name?
May.
May.
All the way
I spent
May.
the entire movie going, May's pretty hot. And then like 80% through the movie, I was like, I wonder what she looks like today. And I Googled it. I was like, oh my God, that's Madonna. I had no idea.
She's also like,
Also, not hot today.
well, no, and she's
Madonna is wild.
But she's like
looking.
70,
she's
right? Or something?
insane right now.
She's in her 60s, but she's all plastic.
She thinks she's in her
Aw.
30s,
Madonna.
but she's
Yeah.
in her
It's
60s.
okay to just be old, you know.
She doesn't think so.
Have some
Not for a
wrinkles.
pop star.
She
I
thinks you
know.
gotta be like trying to do what the kids do on TikTok, and
No.
it's some of the most cringe content on the internet today.
Don't do what the kids do. The
Don't.
kids are crazy.
Yeah. Ugh. So yeah, no, Jimmy Dugan and then Rosie O'Donnell, who's shockingly not horrible in this movie. I thought. But this is like her heyday, right? Like Rosie
was,
was,
like-
the 90s.
Well, she got nominated for an award for this, and it was like best like breakout performance. So I think this was like early Rosie O'Donnell.
yes,
days.
and then we had Marla Hooch, right? Who's like the ugly one
she
that can
was
hit
so
really well.
good.
Well, it's-
Do you know who she's a voice actor for a show when we were kids. Do you
Oh.
know who she was?
I'll tell you who I thought she was.
Who'd you think
was
she was?
Ron Swanson's mom in that drink off episode.
Oh, I see
I was
it.
like, I thought for certain. I was like, oh, that's her. And I looked it up. It is not.
No.
So my
I
apologies.
can see it.
But who she is?
But I have no idea which voice.
She's-
Cartoon.
Cartoon,
Can you give us a
Nickelodeon.
network to narrow it down? Okay, Nickelodeon.
This is my only fun fact for the movie.
I
Nick
I
didn't
guess
watch
Sandy on
it.
SpongeBob.
No.
Damn.
She's Jimmy's mom in Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy's
never
I
would
did watch that.
Jimmy's
Cameron.
mom. And that blew my mind.
don't remember her, though.
So I just said Jimmy's mom like a million times.
You
during
did.
The
I
movie.
can confirm.
Also, she wasn't that ugly, right?
No.
They
I
definitely
looked
Not
up
how
a
they were
picture-
making it out to
They
me.
were making out to be like she was terrible.
I
and was like,
googled
come
her
on.
name because I just wanted to know what she was in, and then found out she's Jimmy's mom. And they had like a picture of her, and I'm like, oh my god, they ruined her in this movie. And this was her first role, like in anything.
Oh man.
So they
They
really
did
was
the
like,
intro
check out this
video.
ogre lady. And then-
It was like everyone else in these close-ups, and it's just like, and check out what's her name. And it's
And then she's just far out of the field.
she's just like waving. It's so small. Oh, it's so good.
Poor
Oh, man.
Marla.
So there
One of my
were.
notes.
Marla. And
Yeah,
that
my
dad,
notes.
oh my god. Oh god, Nick.
Dude, her dad was ridiculous. All
What
the
I-
scenes with her dad felt
Yeah.
so over the top. Just
What?
her reaction, his reaction, it was so weird.
He was a good dad.
I
though.
liked the dad scenes. He blamed himself for her being
Yeah,
ugly or
but-
something. I raised her like a boy. That's my mistake. Don't punish her
Don't
for
punish
my
her for.
mistake.
Yeah, I was like, come on, let him in. Let it be the
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
It's like, oh,
I
this is so sad.
And then when the sisters,
And Nick's just like, nah.
the sisters wouldn't
No,
go
I wanted her on the
unless
team.
She got to go.
Oh yeah, yeah. The sisters
Yeah.
wouldn't go unless
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Unless Marla the Moose got to go.
Poor Marla. But she
Girl
was
gang.
talented.
She
Come
was
on.
dude. She
How are you gonna pass
She
on
was a
someone
hitter.
like
She's
that?
Left and right, switch hitter.
slugger.
Come on. What are you, crazy?
What
Get
you
her on
gonna
board.
slugger.
Yep.
The scout guy, the guy
Oh my
from
God.
what's that movie?
John Lovett.
Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers. That's what I know him from. Is Benchwarmers. He's like the rich guy in Benchwarmers, I think. It's been
Haven't seen
15
it,
years since
actually.
I've seen that movie. It's good. It's like what if Napoleon Dynamite was about baseball? Literally. It's
Yeah,
it's
okay,
like
yeah.
it's that level
in
of
that
like
one.
stupid ass movie.
It's David Spade too,
Yeah.
and Nick Swartzen.
Yeah.
Or am I thinking? Okay. I know who
It's good. It's a good movie. It's
I'll
terrible.
check it out.
Don't watch it. There's a lot of very hilarious vomiting in that movie.
Yum.
So yeah, I don't know. The flashback. So the old broads, the beginning of the movie. I didn't love the beginning.
No,
Okay.
it felt a little weird.
Yeah.
I was like,
Not very exciting.
It's like very what we would now call probably stereotypically 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like
You're
almost.
talking about pre-flashback.
Yeah. Well, yes. So the lady doesn't want to go. Dottie, old lady Dottie, doesn't want to go because she was barely a part of it. Blah 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 blah. Which I didn't. Which is not a line you really can understand until the end of the movie
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
she quits after
Yeah.
the first year. Spoilers. Whole show's about spoilers. So I don't know. I thought that was an interesting setup, and the payoff for me wasn't really there.
No.
I thought
Kinda
the
forgot
whole
about-
sister relationship was kind of interesting and not as effective as I feel like it could have been.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it. What? Like
I didn't want any more of it, to be fair, but because I wanted the baseball. I wanted the baseball story, but it was just kind of like, all right, so now they hate each other. All right, so they traded the one. Of course they did. They're not going to trade the best player on the team. And then at the end, it's like, I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know.
you didn't like the ending, but we don't have to talk about
We'll
that
get
yet.
that. We'll get to that. That's kind of I did and didn't.
But I
like
don't
the
know.
ending.
As a sister,
Oh, I have one
as
of those,
an
but I'm not one.
you're not a sister though.
Nope.
As an older sister, I don't really relate to that because I feel like my sister and I like are pretty equal and equally special in our own ways. But growing up, there is that competition, there is that drama, that like better, prettier,
Yeah.
looking upness. So I thought it was
Was your batting
Done
average
well.
better?
April's was probably better.
Yeah.
I am not athletic at all.
You kept biting on the high fastball.
0% sports over here. Negative sports. Although I did play basketball for 3 years. I took one shot in the entire 3 years, and I missed. So doing great.
Never, and you went never again.
Never again. No, I think I took the shot.
See what happens? You see what happens?
Year. I think I took the shot the last year I played too. So
You're like, it's now or never. I've waited my whole career for this moment for a brick. Did you get an air ball or did it at least hit the backboard of the rim?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No. I got the offense award though because I tried.
Nice.
I did.
That's pathetic.
I did something.
That is pathetic.
I got a lot of
Listen.
you tried awards, but that day I got the offense award.
I played middle school basketball, church league basketball.
Ooh.
I played homeschool
And
league
it was-
basketball.
I was in 6th grade and like 6 foot taller than everyone else. So they're like, just go stand down there and put your hands in the air. If you see the ball, slap it. I got the best shot blocker award.
Wow. I love
I was
that.
10 foot taller than
I
everyone
love that
else.
for you.
Did you get any boards? Okay, moving on.
Boards.
Rebounds. So when they get to the baseball part, so they round up a bunch of women and whatever. We're making a baseball league. Yay! There's one girl that can't read, and we're just gonna have a girl crying for.
I teared up when her
They were-
friend got up.
They were
and-
so accepting over those. Nice.
Yeah.
she's
It was
like,
good. Well, the
"I'ma
men are
help
the
you."
worst, but it was the 40s, and men were the worst.
Yeah, they were.
And men continue to be the worst. So
Yeah.
there's
A little
that. However, that field, I was like, so they walk through the tunnel, and they're talking about whatever, and the big boss man with the chocolate factory, whatever his name is.
I don't even remember.
Who
Call him
cares?
Chocolate Factory Man.
Yeah, he's supposed to
That
be.
was
He's supposed
Walter Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey.
Harvey.
He's supposed to be Wrigley
Yeah.
of gum fame and of Wrigley Field fame, which is where they were. Because as soon as we go through, there's like a shot of an ivy wall, and I'm like, oh my God, they're in Wrigley Field. And as far as I can tell, they filmed in Wrigley Field for real, which is insane. And I hope that they all knew the gravity of how freaking cool that is. It's one of the 2 oldest baseball fields that we have.
Where's that at?
Still.
Oh.
Chicago,
Chicago.
Illinois.
Chicago.
It is one of 2
I don't
baseball stadiums.
I don't remember where the movie was supposed to take place.
Near
I think
Chicago.
they traveled around a bunch. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
know
their
what the
team
time
was
was.
near
Their home
Chicago,
team though was Chicago, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
that checks out.
because they were in Wrigley. I guess that's what I have to base that on.
Yeah.
But they were doing bus rides and stuff, so they could have been.
They were
in any number
traveling
of
around.
places. The sexism was rampant in this movie.
I will
And it was
say
brutal.
though,
It could have been worse though.
it could have been worse, and also like, yeah, like the uniforms with the skirts were sexist, but they were pretty cute
Yeah.
though. I was like,
Yeah, I
if
thought that was
I
gonna
had
be
to
a
play
bigger-
baseball, like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're pretty.
I
not a
thought
bad uniform.
I thought that they were eventually going to change them, but they sure
I did
did stick
too.
with them
I
the
did
whole
thought it was
time.
going to be a bigger plot point. I thought it was going to be like,
Yeah.
we can play in the real uniforms and it'd be like
Yeah.
a thing. But it was just like, no, well,
No,
it's
you get
fine.
the skirts.
Well, we can slide in
Yeah.
them still.
The company
Like,
that
okay.
makes the hats Danielle and I were wearing made a what was their team?
That's our hat. The Rockford Peaches.
Yeah, they made Peaches uniforms, but they don't sell them anymore. It's sad.
Sad. I
They
don't know
they
that
would
one.
have been
It would have been so funny if
And
you
also,
guys
like-
showed up in Peaches.
well, they would have been like
Imagine.
$400 too, because they're all hand stitched.
Worth it.
Worth it.
handmade.
Yeah, it's a business expense.
True. I'll put it on our company card, which is my card.
I'm glad I watched this. So I've always wanted to watch this movie, but I'm glad I watched it after being with you and actually understanding baseball. Like, I knew nothing about baseball before I was with Cameron, but now Cameron loves baseball, so now I love baseball as well.
I watch hundreds of games a year, so by proxy, she watches parts of hundreds of games a year.
So I just could understand the movie a lot better because I actually knew what was going on.
We're going to the ballpark in 3 days.
Ooh, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Ask.
If they hit the ball,
Here we go.
all the way outfield.
Yeah.
And they catch it.
Out.
So they don't get a run.
No.
I mean, they've probably already
wait. They can. So in the event that there are less than 2 outs, right? So let's say there's 1 out, and let's say there's a runner on second base. If a runner's on second or third, they're what's called in scoring position because as soon as, let's say, there's a fly ball deep center field, like you're saying, the center fielder catches the baseball. The batter is out, but the second that baseball hits that fielder's glove, the person on second base can run. Right? It's effectively like stealing, but it's not. So they have to be tagged out. So like if the throw gets to third base and they get tagged, they're out. But for most deep fly balls, you can score from second base, and that happened in the movie. That happened to the yellow team in the World Series. That's how they tied. No, because she got a Little League home run because she charged the catcher, which you can't do anymore because of the Buster Posey rule. So,
but no, I think before that though they tied the game.
They tied the game on a fly ball.
So one person got an out, but the other ones could.
Yeah, they
run in.
So yes and no, Nick. You can score, but not the batter.
So that's why it was a big deal too when she caught the foul balls.
Foul balls are different than like a ball in play.
They made a big deal about her going and chasing foul balls and catching them.
Good because
I assume that means they're out.
Yeah.
Yes. Foul.
If you hit a foul, like you get to hit again, but if they catch it, then they're out.
Right.
So
if
they don't
it goes
get a chance.
like over the net and it's unrecoverable, then it's just a strike. But you can't strike out on fouls. So if you keep hitting foul, you can hit 1,000,000 fouls in a row. But if one is caught, you're out.
Then you're just done.
There's also other weird rules in baseball, like if there's a strike 3 call, but the catcher drops the baseball, the runner can try to run to first. Baseball's got a lot of fun.
I'm learning
rules.
so much.
Baseball is my favorite sport because there's a lot of weird rules like that. It is like kind of the least stakes sport. There's not like, and it's constant. It's not like football where you're waiting, and then the ball's snapped, and then there's 13 seconds of action, and then we wait for another 2 minutes. Baseball's always happening. People think it's slow, but there's more on-field action in baseball than almost any other major American sport, basketball aside, and soccer.
Basketball's boring.
And soccer's not American. They call it football over there.
Football.
Baseball's great. It's my favorite sport, which is why there's this is on the list, and because it's a Tom Hanks movie, and because it's really highly rated.
I thought they did a pretty good job for someone like me, at least. They definitely played into like, these are the rules of baseball. Like baseball was obviously a big point, but I didn't really understand or have to understand the rules.
Yeah, and there was cool stuff.
And that didn't lose me.
Yeah. I loved
it's like Coach Carter. It was sport adjacent.
Yeah.
I loved the sign duel with Dottie.
Or like Back to the Future. It's not
that was great.
It's not a time travel movie.
Shut up. The sign duel was great. I loved like Dottie making the lineup because what's the freaking coach's name?
Jimmy
Because Jimmy was drunk, so she made the lineup.
What
How
an
hard
intro
can it
too
be?
for his character,
right?
Yeah, that's
Dude.
an interesting role for Tom Hanks.
I was
What a
rolling.
What a piss was great. Yeah.
For those wondering, it was 58 seconds.
That's
That's
long
pretty
pee.
long.
Yeah.
Those are good peas,
It
though.
reminded me of,
Yeah.
have you guys
Flushes
seen
the system.
the Austin Powers movies?
No.
When they unfreeze him and he pees for like 3 minutes straight.
That's great.
It's great.
Yeah. No, there was some good, solid, not a lot. Of course, I want more because I love baseball, but there was some good, solid, like baseball, quote unquote, gameplay in the movie. Like they let us watch some baseball, especially for the World Series. And I liked that because I like baseball. I want to watch baseball in a baseball movie. Don't feel like that's a hard ask.
How unreasonable.
I really liked, there was baseball stuff as plot points. The signs thing, the lineup card, the trade. When
trade.
Kit got traded, because of course they're not going to trade Dottie. Like,
No.
duh. Even duh. It's about like that one outburst that Kit had when like you knew what they were going to do. I'm like, she like had to have known what they were going to do. They're not going to trade Dottie. That's stupid. So I don't know. I liked it. It had a good amount of baseball in my baseball movie.
Can we talk about there's no crying in baseball?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
There's no crying in baseball.
That's all I knew about
crying?
this movie.
I knew the line. I had never seen the scene, and I didn't know the
Same.
context, and I didn't know how intense
There's
like
no
the yelling
crying
would be.
in baseball.
Um,
Gotta do the head like.
he was like,
It's very
dude,
animated.
great scene. Although,
Just
like,
flabbergasted.
there's something about that 90s Tom Hanks voice really has a lot of Woody
Yeah.
from Toy Story in it.
Yeah, I
and it
kept
just-
hearing Woody. Like if I'd go to the kitchen and hear it, I was like, oh man, it's like exactly
It's
Woody.
just so good.
Are a toy. Like, it's like the same cadence.
I loved it. So good.
Tom Hanks was so good.
We're not aiming for the truck.
I kind of was expecting him to have a bit of like a turn, which I guess he did at the end because he decides to stay with the team.
Yeah.
But for most of the movie, he was kind of a drunken bit of a jerk.
I
He's
had a
rough
similar
around the
thought.
a
edges.
little rough, you know.
I thought that his character felt very rushed in the end to get to that point.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of drunkenness, and then never mind, I love
Never
this
mind,
game.
this is great. Yeah.
It was very,
Well,
very quick, very abrupt.
They
A
get
lot
him
of long
in.
bus trips will do that for you, though.
Well, they get him in too by like kind of hurting his pride a bit because Dottie's just doing his job.
Yeah.
So, and that I liked that that's how they got him in. They were like, all right, we're just going to do baseball without you and you can be along for the ride. And he's like, no, I know how to do it better than you. And then his call like worked. And I liked that. I liked that they didn't have his call be wrong.
Right. Well,
'Cause
he
that-
should be the
That would have just
professional.
derailed the character. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a good call.
And I think he started to just enjoy being around the team too, off the field.
And they had little hints of him improving, like the when Dottie handed him the Coke instead of the flask
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
bus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I figured at that point he'd kind of stopped drinking, or maybe just tapered off. Maybe.
Tapered off, I think.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we talk
or
about
how it. Go ahead.
Can we talk about poisoning the lady to party?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, I couldn't.
I
believe
thought
that
May was
part.
just like joking,
Yeah.
and then the
No.
chick's throwing up, and I'm like, oh my god, she
in all
actually
my years of
poisoned
medicine,
her.
I've never seen
I've
anyone
never-
throw up that much, and I was like, yikes! Almost killed that broad.
That's
Crazy.
Rip.
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna go to this little roadhouse thing. I was like, this is gonna be an awful little place. That place ruled. They were
Yeah.
having so much
It
fun. It
looked
was
great.
so
The
alive.
dancing
some
was fun.
It
dancing.
was not sketchy.
Yeah, nothing like the Roadhouse movie.
No,
No,
of course the best. Movie
maybe
we've
Dalton
seen.
had just got done.
Yeah,
Cleaning up this
You're
place.
welcome, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I had something I wanted to bring up, and I lost it. Oh,
How
Wait, I
about
lost it again.
what's her face singing?
singing was funny.
Oh my God.
Marla,
But she married that guy.
she did marry that guy.
And
which
I
is
love
cool.
that.
And then he
for her.
died.
Yeah, when he was old though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He let her down.
We
She's
all
too good
die
for him.
eventually.
Speaking of dying, how about the emotional roller coaster of the
no.
husband?
Oh man.
I
I'm,
was laughing that entire time.
You were
and
laughing?
It was not.
You're
Well,
a
it wasn't
monster.
supposed to be funny.
No.
But just the way they did it was so comical to me.
what?
Break that down for us.
I think you're a monster.
We're talking. Okay, so we're talking about how the mailman came and was like, "I've got a letter from the military."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like, "You think they'd send someone to tell you that your husband was dead?" Like he was being kind of. I don't know the word.
Right,
not
but that
funny.
was to get Dugan to like manhandle him a bit, I think. Get him out of there.
Yeah.
Another little tiny character development point.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah.
Because they
I
did,
was just
they
brought that
did
up.
build up. I kind of disagree a little bit. Like they did build Dugan up, but it was in tiny little moments like that the whole way. So they whispered it, and then they did like finally go ba bomb at the end of the movie with his growth. But you know,
yeah.
but no, yeah. So did y'all think it was gonna be Dottie's husband that croaked?
Oh yeah.
I did. I didn't realize there was another person on the team that had a husband overseas. I thought it was just her.
Yeah. Well, there were
So maybe that's why
There
it
were
was
several.
funny to me
there were
too.
several. Rosie O'Donnell's husband, I think, was overseas.
Yeah, I mean all the
Oh.
ones. There were several that sat down, so I'd assume all the ones that were sitting down
Yeah.
were like.
But it's
There was
like,
just a lot of tension built for no reason, I thought, because Tom Hanks' character, Jimmy, took the note and like slowly walked towards him. And I was like, oh my God, who's it going to be?
well, the
And
tension
then he
was,
said like, sorry, Betty. And I was like, oh, thank God, not the main character.
well, the tension was, yeah, we had Dottie like center of frame for like his whole walk up,
wanted
and the
to trick us.
camera's pushing into her, and at the last second, the focus pulls and she gets blurred. And I'm like, I kind of thought they wouldn't do it because of where we were at in the runtime.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to be before any of that happened and before the breakdown with the sister. I was like, is her husband dying going to be the drama, or is her sister going
It's
to
the
be
sister,
the drama?
because then they use
And
the husband
then-
as drama, but him not being
Yeah.
dead, him getting sniped in the leg.
And then when the sister
That-
drama happened, I was like, okay.
So right after they like revealed whose husband died, they took that chick out of the room, and then seemingly the whole team was like, all right, well, I guess we got to play a game.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it
the
was
World
just
Series.
very kind of, eh.
It's the
And
World
then
Series.
like
What are you
the
gonna do?
the very next scene almost was, not only is her husband still alive, he's back now.
yeah,
That was
And it was
really
just
cute.
really
a
funny to
pretty quick, like back to back.
it's a short movie though. Like if you make the movie 2.5 hours, you can stretch
been
that
too
stuff out.
long.
But God, that'd be long.
Cameron was funny. Like, so like after they get the letter, right?
Always funny.
The next day, Dottie's crying, or that night, Dottie's crying. And Cameron's like, why is she crying? Her husband's not dead. And I was like, if I spent 45 seconds thinking that you might be dead, I would probably be crying too.
I'd be
Sorry, you're heartless.
I'd be upstairs going, "What a weenie!"
There's no crying in casting.
There's no crying in baseball. Silly broad.
You gotta cry sometimes, man. Or if you're me, you cry all the
Rods
time.
in their feelings. Ugh.
Lighten up, toots.
I just have a lot of feelings.
You're up to bat.
So the World Series too, was I what did I say? After game like 2, I'm like, it'll be
Yeah,
game
you called
7
it. You called
because of
it.
course
Yeah.
they're not
You're
going to
like,
end
"We're
on
gonna
like
tie."
they're not going to end on a 4-1 series win.
I was so mad though that Dottie, I guess the writing was on the wall, because the whole movie she was kind of like, this isn't important. I don't want to go. Like, I'm going home to Bob.
You didn't like her reveal that she was back?
Well, I wanted her
I thought
to
it was
stay.
great.
Well, I wanted her to stay the whole time. I never wanted her to leave. I was mad that she was like, well, there's one more series left. Guess I'm
One
gonna
more
leave.
game. One more game. She didn't come back till game 7.
Yeah, I'm like, you couldn't stay for the World Series. That's the game. Like,
Yeah.
or 7 of them.
There's 7 of them.
But instead, you're just gonna quit the team and leave.
Well,
I thought
she
that was
drove
trash.
and then had to drive back because there's no
Trash.
highways because Eisenhower hadn't built them
Yeah,
yet.
but she decided to leave, and that was boo. It's
Well,
like, Bob
yeah.
can't wait with
But
you.
her
for-
husband was back.
Yeah, and she had just spent
She just went
45
through that
seconds
emotion.
thinking he was dead.
He could have stayed with her.
I mean, he did at game 7.
Exactly. So why not stay for
Well,
the first 1 through 6?
But Jimmy was with you because he's like, whose side you can play? What's her face has been
I
catching
mean,
great.
Abandoning your team. Come on, Dottie.
Hey, she
did.
abandons her team again 10 minutes later when
Yeah,
she
I
doesn't
know.
return.
I was kind of sad, but
And that's when we get the ow. That's when we get the the older broad at the beginning being like, I was barely a part of it. It's like, you won the World Series. Well, you lost the World Series.
You were on the
lost the
cover
World
of
Series.
Time magazine,
Yeah, doing that split thing with the foul ball catch.
but barely apart.
Here's my thing with the game 7 and the ending of the movie. I didn't like the ending of the World Series. I liked the ending of the movie. I liked the reunion thing in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I want to go to Cooperstown so bad, but it's in the middle of nowhere, New York.
yep.
There's like nothing near it. So the whole city better be awesome because we're going one day. But the game 7, so Dottie goes up to her pitcher. It's bottom of the 9th. They are tied at this point, or
Yes.
I think so.
tied at
think-
this point. And Kit is up to bat, and she gets a little league home run, which is a home run where the ball doesn't leave the park. It doesn't go over the fence, which is automatic around the bases, but just shittery happens and you can run your way all around with the ball still being in play. However, Dottie goes up to her pitcher and goes, throw pitches high. She likes
High
to
and
swing,
fast.
high and fast. So fastball's up in the zone. She can't, or up outside the zone. She swings at him and can't hit him. And then this idiot throws the same pitch 3 times. Who in their right mind is doing that? You do exactly what happened in the softball game at the beginning of the movie. You give her too high, and then she swings and misses both of them. And then when she thinks you're going to do it again, and she's probably going to lay off, you throw a heater meatball right down the middle of the plate. She holds off, strike 3. She goes and sits down. You win the World Series. Why did you throw 3? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know.
But then again, I had that gripe with the movie, and I'm watching baseball tonight, and the Rays closer Adams throws 3 sliders bottom right hand of the zone, 3 in a row, and strikes the batter off on 3 pitches to win the game. So what the hell do I know? Literally, as soon as I'm about to, I've got this note in my phone, and then my pitcher wins a baseball game doing the same thing I got pissed at in the movie. Like, how do you not throw something?
Small detail.
How do you not throw something off
Only
speed?
Cameron would be mad about that.
Why are you throwing 3 of the same exact fastballs? Because you do that anything 3 times, like a hitter's gonna learn if a hitter has a brain cell, and she did. It's like, dude, off speed pitch, slider low, something inside at the numbers, back or off the plate, anything. This is
the equivalent of when you watch a movie and you're like, they're not really playing this music.
Yeah.
It's such a close attention to detail, but it doesn't matter.
I do know. Well, it does matter. They lost the World Series.
They did lose. I kind of wish they won, but I get that the sister needed to win.
No,
So-
Kid has to win.
So
So
do
we
you
get a
guys-
shitty makeup at the end. Dumb. I didn't like that.
I thought she slid in and touched her glove. I thought she ran through her.
Back in the day and until like 2012, you could hit the catcher as hard as you can. And if the ball comes out, so they have to control, the catcher has to control the ball the whole time. If the ball comes out, they're safe. So she just trucked her. And that was
because
allowed.
I was like, she definitely made contact with the
Why'd they
glove.
get
So
rid of that?
she's out.
They got rid of that because I believe
dangerous.
a San Francisco Giants catcher named Buster Posey got hit so hard he got a concussion. And it was like a pretty serious deal. So they made the Buster Posey rule, and you can no longer do that. You have to give the runner a clear lane to home plate, and you like stand off to the side and reach a tag over. So you can't block the plate with your whole body anymore, because like you can watch clips and like montages of people catcher collisions in the 90s. They're straight like getting their arms like this and destroying catchers. And they've all probably got CTE. Like, it's bad. So yeah, I think it's the Buster Posey rule. I hope I don't have the player wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was him.
I can't confirm or deny.
You say none of us can fact check
No.
you. So.
Email us at we don't have an email.com if I'm wrong, or comment on tiktok.gov.
Do you guys think there's a chance that she intentionally dropped the ball?
That's kind of
it
what I
felt-
thought.
When they did that
Maybe.
zoom in on her hand, it was very much she was already on the ground, and then it just kind of.
And
That's
she
how it
was
works,
so
though.
good. Like,
That's how
she
it
was
works.
the best, and then she just made a mistake.
She was
Well, I think
pretty
there could be an-
uncompromising.
Yeah, I think
There
she's got
could
too much
be an
integrity.
argument for. True, but there could be an argument for she knew this was like her last game. She wasn't coming back. She wanted her sister to go on to have a good career.
If she would have done that, she would not have told the pitcher to pitch high and fast. She would have told the
Yeah, that's
pitcher
true.
something like
That's
she
true.
likes.
Unless
she
it
hates
was
off
when she was
speed
running the
balls
bases,
inside.
she was like, you know what? Like, she's like, she's rounding third. I'm gonna change my mind.
I don't
You know
think,
what? This sucks.
I don't think that you're throwing the World Series for family. I think that if I'm in the World Series and like I will beat you to death with my bat to win the World Series. Like, it's the World Series. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think,
I think you're right.
If so, like, I hate Dottie. If she did, like, that's trash. It's terrible sportsmanship. But no, I think she just got her shit rocked. At the plate.
I mean, it looked pretty hard.
I think that was like, you hit a lot of times the ball doesn't come out like in the initial collision. It comes out like when you hit the ground, and then,
Because you're hitting the ground.
Yeah. So I didn't like that ending, though. I didn't like the way the game ended.
Yeah.
But I loved the Hall of Fame ending. Loved it.
That
I
was
loved
pretty
the whole
good.
Cooperstown thing. And then them letting the guy cut the ribbon.
Yeah.
That guy, that guy was awesome.
You recognize that guy?
I don't recognize that guy.
He did feel familiar.
He's the cool guy with the mustache that had the whole operation in LA Confidential. Like the slick guy that had like the prostitution ring.
I don't remember.
Oh
That movie
man,
was so long ago.
that
such a
was a
white-
month ago.
Oh, like you guys were falling down the cliff.
How long have we been falling? I don't know. My watch doesn't tell time. I haven't seen Spy Kids.
Oh my God, you haven't seen Spy Kids?
You know, it'd be fun
That's a
movies to do for
classic.
the show. Would be Spy Kids, the first one, and then Shark Boy
Oh
and
my
Lava
God,
Girl.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl was
If we
trash.
have that movie on though, I think
Trash!
David loves it, so we'd have to have David on.
Oh, it's trash.
Those
you know-
are ones
do you know
where
that
you
movie-
have to
I'm-
drink a lot before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that movie was like the script writer had his kids like, "Hey, how would you make a movie?" And then they just wrote Shark Boy
They
and Lava
just
Girl.
did it. Yeah.
Taylor Lautner's in it.
Who do you think it would star? George Lopez. That guy from Nick at
Maybe
Night.
the guy just didn't know who, and then he woke up on his couch at 2 a.m. to George Lopez jumping
George
into
Lopez
frame.
on a trampoline.
Just
And
bounces
that's
into
how they knew.
frame.
That's how they knew.
My God.
Anything else?
He's like, that's it.
Yeah. Hello, Rider.
Nah.
Anything else before we need to? We've been talking for
Let's
about
see.
85 years. So,
I
final thoughts before star ratings?
don't think I have anything. I am curious what your guys' maybe favorite or funniest scene was.
yeah. Funniest scene or line? I've got one. I've got my. Go ahead.
I really loved Ernie, the recruiter at the beginning, that came and got both of the sisters from the farm.
Yeah, he was great.
Not necessarily a scene, but just his whole interactions with them where he was so witty. You could tell a lot of it was like not improv. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't
On
know.
the spot, made up, off
Improv?
script,
Improv?
whatever. Maybe improv is the right word. I don't know. He was funny. That's my point.
Very sassy.
Very sassy. He when they were milking the cows, he's like, "Does that hurt them?" Like, doesn't look like it. It bruised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
That one left.
Mine
got me
was
laughing.
I think it's after Jimmy yells at the girl for crying in baseball, or it was after she it was when she missed the cutoff. So when you're an outfielder, and I think she was playing right field, a lot
I
of times
know.
you don't throw to second base, right? You throw to the shortstop will come up, or the second baseman will come up and the shortstop will cover second. It depends on what side of the field. Anyway, there's a cutoff person. They'll come like halfway, so you can throw harder to the cutoff, and then they'll like do a relay throw down to home plate instead of you trying to throw all the way, because not everyone's Bo Jackson and can make it. And he chastised her for missing the cutoff, man. And the umpire goes up to Jimmy Duggan and says, "Perhaps you chastise her too vehemently. Good rule." Well, he says vehemently. He's like, "Good rule of thumb: treat each of these girls as you would treat your mother." And Jimmy's response, and what was maybe my favorite line of the whole movie,
You're right.
is, "Did anyone ever tell you you look like a penis with a little hat on?"
I thought he said a penis,
so good.
penis with that hat on.
A penis
Either way, still
with
good.
that, with that little hat on. You look like
Oh
a
my
penis
God.
with that little hat on. And
You're
that-
out of here. You can't kick me out over that.
He's like, I don't think he misunderstood you, bud. Oh man.
That was my favorite.
Oh, that was a good
That
one.
made me laugh because penis is funny. What was your favorite
My favorite line.
line or moment?
I don't know. That's hard. Well, I mean, I love there's no crying in baseball, but also I just really loved the montage of them becoming successful.
Yeah,
It starts with like Dottie doing the split catch, and then all the little gimmicks they start doing, and they start to get more confident, and they're winning and being
it
successful.
was a very satisfying meeting of the goddess at that point.
yeah, that was fun.
The goddess was their success in this Dan Harmon story circle.
Mhm.
So I kept annoyingly pausing the movie and going through the
I was
story
getting a little
circle.
bit
I thought
annoyed.
you were going to stab me in the face with the remote.
Was it that obvious?
Yeah, but I just love Dan Harmon and want to know where we're at.
It's
in
just
the story.
I normally don't mind, but this was one movie that I was really excited to watch, so I was like, I gotta focus.
Well, it's like
I gotta focus.
in the
really hard on what's
Matrix,
happening.
it was just like in the Matrix you have an obvious goddess because
Yeah.
it's the spoon scene lady. But in this it's like, well, what's the goddess? Because you don't have one, and it was the goddess was just them
Yeah.
not sucking. So
Yeah, not really a MacGuffin either.
I mean, kind of just baseball.
Yeah.
I think was
That's
the
not a
MacGuffin. But it's not. No, it's not a
Yeah.
MacGuffin in the way that the briefcase from Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction
Yeah.
is a MacGuffin. What was your favorite moment or line?
So when it was when that recruiter was talking to them in the like the milk cow place, and he was he was telling about the cost they'd be getting paid like $75 a week or whatever, and she's like $75 a week. And she's like, you can pull her leg for a while, but mine are long enough already. And I was like, oh my god. And I liked when they were doing that like announcement for like women are becoming like men playing sports, and she was like your candy bars, you're completely nuts.
Yep.
I
Yep.
was
Yep.
like, oh my god.
This is like when John.
And I think just all the different baseball signs that were just ridiculous were probably my favorite scenes. It kind of reminded me of what was it, Tuco, when he was doing the Hail Marys and they got crazier and crazier, a little bit like that.
I like.
That just reminded me there is one more scene that I laughed really hard at. It was at the very beginning when there was like it was either the like commentator guy during a game or it was like a video or something, but it was like, here's what's her name, and she's great at baseball in this area. Also, she's an accomplished coffee maker.
Oh yeah.
And she's just pouring coffee, and she mouths the word "coffee" at the camera, and they write it on the screen. It was amazing, amazing. I liked May in the confessional booth. Like May's in the confessional booth, and then the girls are all outside, and you hear a thud, and he goes, "That's the 5th time he's dropped his Bible in there," and he comes out, and he's just sweating.
Was happening in there that she was on her knees and not praying, if you know what I mean. That's what they were talking about. Like he dropped the Bible twice now, and I was like, oh wow,
No,
she's really
no,
okay.
no, no.
And
I
then,
think
like,
he was
she
just
left.
Wait,
like-
that's not what they were saying?
I
No,
thought
no,
that's
she
what
was
they were
just
saying.
con-
She was just telling him what happened.
Yeah, she was just confessing everything, and he
He
comes
was-
out and he's sweating.
He was just a little hot and
That's
bothered.
what, I was like, wait, well, because he's
No,
okay.
she's not.
No.
She's not
Yeah, I think you could
blowing
argue
the
either way,
father,
maybe.
bro.
She is all the way May. I don't know.
She is Madonna.
All the
Yeah.
way, man.
I had to ask Danielle if Madonna was Madonna at this point because I know nothing about Madonna, and
Yes.
she was like, "Yeah, it's after the '80s, idiot." And I'm like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, this was her like trying to get in the movies after she was
She did a
already
good job.
successful.
I thought she could
I
have
thought
done
the
that.
pair of her.
She was great.
I thought the pair of her and Rosie O'Donnell was hilarious.
It was weird to see her as a brunette.
I don't
Yeah.
know enough about Madonna. Is she blonde?
I feel like she's blonde,
Is she
right?
blonde? I don't know anything about.
Maybe I'm wrong. But I
I thought
expected
she
her
was
to be
mostly blonde.
I don't-
yeah,
I don't
'cause
think I
feel like
know.
she's,
She may have
you
changed
know,
it some, but I also don't know Madonna that well.
I don't know any Madonna songs.
I just
think.
feel like, you know,
This is
bombshelly
pre
women
the
are
Madonna.
usually blonde.
Yeah.
No.
this is post
This is
Madonna.
post Madonna.
Post Madonna.
Yeah.
This is yeah.
Did the team kind of coming together remind anyone else of Seven Samurai or Seven Samurai? They're kind
mean,
of
yeah,
pulling
that's the
different people
trope.
that were
I
all
mean,
kind
yeah,
of
of
characteristically
course,
different. Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's the trope.
That's the trope that they started. But nobody died. Well, I guess someone's
Yeah.
husband
Well,
died. But,
that
you
did-
know,
The
He
team.
wasn't part of the team.
you gotta kind of, all is fair in love
It
and
was
war. or
the
something.
war.
Shout out to the war. All right, let's do stars. I'm most interested in you, so let's start with you.
Me?
Yeah, you wanted to see it.
I did want to see it. I don't know.
Oh boy, did I make a mistake starting with you?
No, you didn't make a mistake.
You can
Sorry.
figure it out.
Yeah, I did.
Look at these notes, Jesus.
It's like 3 notes.
Some paragraphs.
No, I really liked this movie. I thought it was a great mix of drama and heartwarming and funny and all the things. I got misty-eyed several times because it just touched my heart.
Oh, baseball.
And I would want to I could see myself wanting to watch this movie again.
Oh, I'd watch this again. 100%.
So I went back and forth, but I think I want to go 4.5.
Yeah, it's a
I
really,
really
it's a
liked
really good
it
movie.
a lot.
It's a really good movie.
I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick,
Man,
since you and Danielle are always the same, but you won't be in this one, I have a feeling.
hearing that makes me want to raise my score, but I'm not. I'm sticking with it.
Stick to your guns.
It's gonna be like 2. I hate baseball.
Women are so stupid.
Wow. I'm gonna clip that.
Leave the bats and balls to the boys.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Hey.
Oh, boy.
Zinga.
Save the sexism till the end.
No, I liked it. I didn't. It certainly wasn't a bad movie by any means. I didn't know a lot of baseball. Cameron's laughing at me.
No, it's not a bad movie. Insane statement.
Well, no,
Certainly-
you
it's
set it up
certainly
like
not
I was
a-
gonna hate it.
No, no,
I
no.
didn't hate it.
That's good. He didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it.
Get
That's
him a
my
shirt.
review. Jeez, you've ruined my train of thought.
No. Get back on the
He's been
train.
derailed.
Not the train.
For not knowing a lot about baseball, I thought they did a pretty good job of making it about the baseball, but not requiring that knowledge to make it a good movie.
Have you ever been to a baseball game?
When I was like 12, I went to a Cincinnati Reds game.
Oh,
I got on the screen. It was great.
Oh my
Nice.
God. We gotta take you to a ball game.
I wonder if I could find footage of that and see young Nick.
And go back and talk
Probably-
to him for this age crisis thing.
Well, yeah, every
You're gonna be
episode.
okay, young Nick.
All right, go on.
No, I enjoyed.
On a podcast in the future, buddy.
9 people
What's a
listen every
podcast?
week.
We're 4 of them.
Oh,
Like and subscribe.
Please
jeez.
help us. Do it for young Nick.
Good lord.
Sorry. Get on the train and talk to us.
I enjoyed this.
Nick, I'm
movie.
out of beer. Wrap it
I
up.
really liked it. We didn't really talk about it, but I liked the end of the flashback when we come back into the like Hall of Fame
I
stuff.
said I liked it.
Yeah,
That's
I
enough.
liked that ending wasn't overly happy. It also wasn't super sad. Like it was very real. Like old people got back together. Some of them had died. The young kid had grown up. I like that he was there at the end. I can't think of his name,
Wellington or
but
something.
Wellington maybe.
Stillwall.
Stillwell.
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 right.
Stillwell.
He was like, "Do you remember me?" And he was like, "You're gonna live." It was great. I loved the ending.
That being a formative memory for his childhood was hilarious to me. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember anything
Well,
I've
you're
ever
not gonna-
said before the age of like.
yeah, but he was at the World
25.
Series.
That's
he
true.
was the World Series.
It's true. I remember being in a game in the
Um,
90s, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember being loud. I was in Turner Field.
His mom probably told him that story a bunch too, growing
Yeah,
up.
that's true. That's true. He's like, you were such a little shit. You said we were going to lose, and we did,
Coach
you
threw a glove
asshole.
at your face and hit you.
It's all your fault. Maybe
No,
she spent the
that's my
rest of her
favorite
life
scene.
blaming him.
That was the most
Ooh.
excited
That's my
Tom
favorite scene
Hanks
when
was.
Coach threw the glove at the kid. I was like, thank God. It looked like it actually hit him too.
All right,
I don't
Jesus
think
Christ.
they faked it.
Jesus Christ. Let's let Nick finish.
Yeah,
this.
sorry.
Yeah, please. Star rating. I'm gonna go a 3 out of 5.
Oh my God.
What?
That's
Right down the
low.
middle.
That's
Wow.
It was a good movie.
That's an
I enjoyed
average
it.
movie, right?
I don't know that I'd watch it again.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was just
Wow.
very.
You know what?
Average, that's a 6 out of
It-
10.
You know what?
No, it's right down the middle. It's very good. I
Too
enjoyed
fun to
it.
be down the middle.
That's
The
it.
machine
Nope.
was a
It's
3.
his rating.
All right.
You're right. 2.5 would technically be in the middle, but you know,
Two
whatever.
fives ass.
So it's
though.
above average.
That feels
And you're-
low. It might. Okay, whatever.
No.
Sure.
3. Stick to your guns.
No, yeah. No, it's 3.
I want Carl to end for some reason.
Okay.
Just because look at him. You want to end
Just
with
look
that.
at
You don't
him.
want to end with my shaggy ass.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. I'm
Oh,
torn between.
cool.
I'm torn between
What?
4 and 4.5.
Yay.
I really liked it. You get a leg up for Tom Cruise. You get a leg up for
Tom Hanks?
Cruise.
Oof. How embarrassing.
You kept doing this when we were actually talking about Tom Cruise.
I called him Tom Hanks.
You called him Tom Hanks. Do you know the difference?
Anyway, Tom Holland was great in this movie, and I love baseball. I don't know, man. I didn't like the World Series ending, but you know, again, my team just won that way, so maybe I'm just a dummy. But yeah, I
Probably.
think 4. I think 4.
Yeah, you
4
had
or 5
some
feels
criticism.
4 or 5 feels too much. It ain't a 5. It's not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
It's no Pulp Fiction, which I think is my only perfect score so far.
Yeah, I think it is.
Do you have a perfect
It's
one?
no
Jared?
Citizen
Singing
Kane.
in the Rain.
Singing in the.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're only perfect Citizen Kane, right?
Yep.
Wow.
So,
That is a very different perfect list.
Carl, did you give Pulp Fiction a 5?
I did.
Yeah.
And I think I
See?
gave Citizen Kane a 5 too.
We're I think I give it a 4 or 4 5.
Citizen Kane sucks.
No, I'm gonna give it. You're so wrong. I'm gonna give this a 5. I'm gonna give this a 4. 4 star. Good movie.
3,
would-
4.
Would watch
oh, Carl
again.
hasn't gone yet.
If I saw this on television, I'd
you watch
I'd
it?
watch 5 minutes of it and
Yeah.
then go, yep, and then change it because
Yep.
Because you hate movies.
I hate movies. So Carl, go ahead,
Carl.
wrap us up.
All right.
Ish.
Well, this movie started a little scary for me, like, 'cause it was this old lady talking about, I don't know if I should go, and I was like, what is this movie?
Yeah.
What did we get into? Because I thought it was Tom Hanks playing baseball. I thought it was kind of romantic.
Oh.
I thought it was like a romantic comedy or something, and the women
Wow.
were like, yeah. So I didn't know what it was going into it.
Nope.
And then like when she gets into that like bus and starts like driving, and it's like this music going over, I was like, what did Cameron get me into? It's like doing like the leave changing montage, and I was like, oh my god,
Yo,
get me out of this.
Really quick.
But
Tom Hanks
Yes.
drunk driving, I thought was going to be a bigger plot point.
Yeah, it's not great.
yeah, they kind of gloss over some of those things.
anyway.
So I was a little like, oh god, what are we doing? But it quickly resolved itself, and it was very funny and lighthearted. But there was a lot of good, like, heartfelt stuff. Tom Hanks's character was definitely like my Gangs of New York, Bill the Butcher, where he was like the main thing for like the driving force behind
Yeah.
the movie for me. So I loved his performance. I think this movie's got a little bit of everything. It does a good job. It's like of being a baseball movie without being too inside baseball. I don't think I've got anything else to say. I'm gonna start up there and say I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
3-5.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's got rewatchability. I thought it had pretty good character development. Yeah,
We're
better than just average, but
Stair-step
not
again.
amazing.
We're stair-stepped
Yeah.
again. I kind of like it when we're stair-stepped. I don't know why. It's
And I'm not on the.
you're not on the bottom.
I usually hate
I am
everything
this
the
time.
most.
Our dogs are sassing one another.
They are.
They're gonna knock a
Uh-oh.
studio light over, and it's gonna be great.
I do have one more note about the ending though.
Go
That
ahead.
gave me like the weirdest like feeling with that music at the end and them playing baseball, and it was like to end, and it was just like so melancholy, and I was like, what is like I
That
didn't know how
was
to
a,
feel about it. It was like I'm supposed to be happy, right? Or did they
That
die
was
in
a
bus
Madonna
crash
song,
immediately
right?
after
Was it a
this?
Madonna song?
Like, I don't know if it was or not, but the lyrics
I
were like
think it
not
was.
encouraging.
Because I looked
It
up
was like,
some facts
oh,
briefly,
man.
and it was like, oh, Madonna wrote this song for this.
Well,
Yeah, don't hold on to the past. Don't look back. But isn't that what we're doing?
Yeah,
Aren't
it's
we
a little
here? So
odd.
I was kind of confused. I was like, you're giving me mixed signals
It
here.
was
Like,
It was just a part
Yeah.
of Madonna's contract. Got to have the song in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Life is
Doesn't matter
short.
if
Your
it makes
heart is
sense.
breaking. This used to be my childhood dream, but then they're all like kind of playing softball as best they can with their achy joints and their turkey necks. And like, I was like, what? It's like, what are we supposed to feel with this? I was like, I thought it was a happy ending, but I was like, okay.
I only know that's
We
Madonna
all-
because I watched with closed captions and it knocked up
nice.
her name.
Gotcha.
it kind of made me want the ending kind of made me want to like join a beer league softball league, but my crippling social anxiety will not allow for that, nor my broken decrepit body.
Yeah, you're famously really good at not being broken.
Anyway, that's our star ratings. Now let's move to everybody's favorite segment. Nick listens to the Beatles for the first time.
Yeah.
Which please,
I actually.
what was this one?
So last week it was supposed
This
to be
was Help.
Beatles for sale.
Or-
No.
You did Beatles for sale this week. Next is Help.
Yeah, I didn't listen to them at all last week, so I didn't really have an opinion.
Boo.
So I've spent 2 weeks with this album. It is my second favorite in the list.
That gives
Please
me hope
Please
for
Me is
you.
still better.
That gives me hope.
Favorite song on Beatles for Sale is I'll Follow the Sun.
I don't remember that one.
Ooh, that was one where I was like, I've never listened to the Beatles, but I recognize this song. Best song to drive to, Rock and Roll Music,
Yep. Okay.
which is a cover, I believe. I meant to look up
It's
who
a
wrote
Chuck Berry cover.
it. Chuck Berry,
A
that's
lot of covers in this album. Actually, about half of the songs are covers.
right. Yeah. Least favorite, and just because I didn't like it, and I don't have to have a reason, I just didn't like it.
You
I
don't
don't
have
want
to.
to. I don't want to spoil the party.
Okay. Okay. My favorite song on this album, even though nobody cares, is 8 Days a Week. I like it.
Ooh, 8 days a week.
I feel like it's the biggest hit from the album. I feel like that's
Yeah.
the one song from this album. I don't think this one is a top 5. people
Yeah,
say.
I don't. Any of the songs Nick just mentioned, I don't know.
recognize
Yeah,
them
I don't
either,
know
and
any
I've
of them
listened to the
off
You
top of
didn't
my
recognize "I'll Follow the Sun"?
No, I'll listen to it after this.
I
but-
know "Here Comes the Sun."
Yeah, I was about to
but
say, yeah,
we're not
I
there
know that
yet.
one.
Who wrote that? Do you know who wrote that? Pop quiz. Which people wrote that? And in whose backyard?
Ringo.
No.
No, the other one. I know it's not Lennon or
George Harrison
the other
wrote
one.
it.
The other one.
Dang it!
George Harrison.
I knew
wrote
it was one of the
in-
non-big ones.
Yeah, he wrote it in racist ass Eric Clapton's backyard. Eric Clapton can suck my ass. He's the worst.
You just mentioned
Cocaine's a
this
good
too.
song though. Cocaine's a good
Layla
song.
acoustic.
All right. We have gone long, so let's draw and we'll end.
Oh yeah, we have.
We'll
Bucket.
end. We'll skip favorite things we watched because mine's just somebody feed Phil again. So whatever.
Yeah, mine are the same as last week.
Yeah,
so.
I don't
Mine
have
was
any
just the
notes.
Apple event, so that's for the
I was
best.
saying that was I loved shitting on the Apple event today. I can't read this. Oh my
Truman
god!
Show.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes. It's not The
No.
Godfather. It's not The Godfather. It's not The
Oh, I
Godfather.
thought you
That would
said it was
actually be
Truman Show. I
bad
was like, damn,
because
that's
we
This
have
would be
a
the
wedding.
Truman
terrible
Show?
weekend
Is
to
it the
get the
Truman Show?
Godfather.
No, this is a perfect movie for a wedding week.
I have no idea.
It's the Muppet movie.
Oh my
I believe it's 1970s. I have been
Yes.
waiting for the Muppet movie. My dad loves the Muppets. I'm so
Alright.
excited for the Muppet
I
movie.
was listening to a podcast that was ranking movie musicals, and somebody put the Muppets movie as one of their favorites. So I was like,
Whoa.
okay, interesting. So I'm intrigued.
I'm so excited to
I'm
watch
intrigued.
the Muppet
You
movie.
you should drag your dad into it.
I
They
would
can
love
watch
to,
it.
but he would never.
Brian.
But I'm gonna tell
Maybe
him.
it'll be on the
I'll
podcast.
text him when we're watching it. Yeah, I don't think he would. Plus, we don't have the equipment yet. Still sad. Maybe we'll drag him in for Muppets in New York in next year or something.
Muppets
or
in
something
New
fun.
York.
So anyway, yeah, we're gonna watch a shout out to Jim Henson. Literally worked himself to death making the
Aw.
Muppets.
Wait,
Don't
he
do that.
died?
Yeah, he died.
Find what you love and let it kill you.
Yep, he died. He, I think, had some kind of cancer or some crippling medical thing and just kept working instead of getting treatment and
That's so
passed away.
sad.
So the Muppets was literally like his thing. He also did.
Oh my
he
gosh.
also worked on Labyrinth.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
So,
boy.
yeah, we're gonna watch the Muppet movie.
Wow. You got
I'm
really excited.
so excited.
for the
I'm
Muppet
so excited for the Muppet movie.
I hope it's as good as you're making me
Shout
think.
out to Miss Piggy, and we will catch you in the next one.